Hey guys, Fat Man the Beard here, doing another Emerald City Comic Con video. I'm wearing my exclusive Emerald City Comic Con t-shirt. I went with the Adventure Time one because they were unfortunately sold out of all the other t-shirts that I wanted. Not that I don't like Adventure Time, but unfortunately I didn't get the one I wanted because they were sold out. But this video is going to be I'm going to talk about the Funko panel and meeting Kevin Eastman and Charisma Carpenter. I'll give you a little bit of that too. So that's what this video is about. Also, I want to give a little update. I did get in touch with Chris from Loot Crate. I emailed him. He did email me back. I appreciate him emailing me back. Basically, the emails, it's just... he's just rehashing a lot of what he's already said, basically saying if I showed up at I don't know, it was like PAX or one of the other conventions that's coming up, that he would personally be there and I could come talk to him and blah, 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 about my complaints with Loot Crate and blah, blah, blah. Basically just pushing me off once again. He did say that the employees were not necessarily reprimanded, but there was a policy change because of how they acted at the Comic-Con. So that's kind of cool that there was. Now, whether or not this is true, this is just what he's telling me, is that there was a policy change within how things are ran at conventions. But I am not going to stop pursuing this Loot Crate thing. I'm going to try and get in touch with other people at Loot Crate as well, because I feel like he's trying to sweep this under the rug a little bit, and that kind of irritates me. But yeah, so before I get into the Funko panel and Kevin Eastman and Charisma Carpenter stuff, I just want to show off. Actually, I want to talk about a couple things. So guys, don't forget about the Marvel Collector's Corps box. This is going to have the 6-inch Hulkbuster in it, and I think the other problem I think that a lot of people didn't realize with this, especially Funko Pop collectors, is that the 6-inch Hulkbuster is only available in this crate this month. You cannot go to Barnes & Nobles or any of these other places that sell Funkos and buy the Hulkbuster. It's not going to be there. I think they tried to make this pretty clear, but I think a lot of people did not know that you could only get this through Marvel Collector's Corps. So otherwise you'll probably have to end up, paying quite a bit on eBay to get a hold of one of these. I would imagine they will probably be going for $60 to $75 easily on eBay, because, like I said, a lot of people didn't realize that you could only get that. And I want to also talk about what you're also getting in this one. So you're getting the 6-inch Hulkbuster Pop. There's an exclusive variant comic book, an additional mystery vinyl collectible, one t-shirt, and it's they're going to have 4 different ones, so not everybody's going to get the same t-shirt, and then two other premium accessories. So it is $25 plus shipping and handling, but really that's a pretty good deal. I think it came out to I think it was 32 or 33 bucks for this with shipping, which isn't bad. Necessarily. I'm also going to show off, guys, I'm going to show off a few things, not everything I got at ECC, I'm going to kind of spread it out. But before I get into the Kevin Eastman thing, he did sign my comic book. This is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. He did a little drawing on there. I'm not going to move this around too much. But yeah, he did sign it. This is a #1. That's a very serious book. And you're probably wondering why I still have it in my hands. Because it should have been dropped off at the con and graded and had a signature series, but this is once again another big bitch of mine. So at the con, they placed CGC in I don't know how this works. I don't know if they choose it, the con chooses it, I don't know what happens, but they put their CGC booth right in the mix of all of the vendors. So they put CGC right on the corner of where there was 2 massive toy booths with vintage toys, and so you could hardly get in that area. And that was on the 4th floor. So they're doing signings on the 6th floor. So, unfortunately, I could not get CGC up there in time to witness the comic book. Now, two other comic book two other comic book grading companies also can verify signatures. This is CBCS, which is the new comic book grading company, and PGX. Now, PGX was not there, but CBCS was there. So after I got the sign, I took it down there. I knew they could authenticate the signature, and I could drop the comic off and get it graded. But unfortunately, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back then is a weird size. It's not your standard comic book size. They do not have the plastic things that they seal them in for that size. So they will be doing it at some point, they said. And also PGX does not do what I consider magazine size. So now I'm screwed. I have to wait until CBCS does this size so I can get the signature authenticated and get it graded. Because unfortunately, if I send this to CGC like it is, they'll grade it down a full point at least, and it won't have any value. Because I don't know if people are aware, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 signed by Kevin Eastman, I've seen on eBay go for a substantial amount of money. We're talking big bucks here. In fact, I saw one the other day for $10,000 that was signed by Kevin Eastman, and it was a 9.8. So I was very disappointed. Now I've got to try and wait and keep in contact with CBCS because unfortunately PGX does not. I would actually send it to PGX. I'd rather send it there, but they do not do this size. So it's I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. But you know, it is what it is. But before I get into Kevin Eastman, I want to just show off a couple of things I got here. I got this R2-D2. This is sort of the what they call a vintage throwback reproduction thing, and this is the R2 in the Jabba the Hutt bar little getup that he's got. And I got this there. I think I paid $10 for it. But I like that it looks like the 12 backs. Even though it's not. It's a reproduction. Actually, I don't even know if they did this. I think they made this special because I don't think this ever came out with all this accessories or as detailed, obviously. You guys can probably see how detailed that is. But I had to have that. Also got a couple of sealed packs of Series 6 Garbage Pail Kids. They were like 2 for $5, so I just picked up a couple packs. I always loved Garbage Pail Kids, and to find vintage stuff is always very cool. I also got a couple of loose, I always call these Jabba's guards, these big pig-nosed guys. I don't actually know their names. I'm not that deep into it. And then I also got this loose C-3PO as well. And he's got the little, this was from The Empire Strikes Back, and he's got the little pack that went on the back of Chewbacca, and it's actually still sealed up. And I got both of these for, they wanted 18 for this and 12 for this, and I think I got them both for 25 at MTC Toys. They're a very big vintage toy group. And so I'm very happy to get these two loose figures. These were the only really cool ones they had. They had a lot of like your more minor characters, unfortunately, or I would have bought a ton more stuff from them. And I will say, with the new movie coming out, and really, people with large amounts of money, the very elite and rich, are really buying up all the vintage Star Wars stuff. So I really want to stress to people that if you come across vintage Star Wars toys, and if the price is right, buy it up. I'm telling you right now, people, this stuff is disappearing as fast as as they're putting it out there on the shelves. There was a ton of vintage Star Wars stuff there, and it was gone in a New York minute. And I've been noticing lately that this stuff is being bought up by rich people, and they're just stockpiling it because they know it's going to be worth a fortune as well. So I think that was all I was going to show off for right now. yeah, that's all I'm going to show off right now. I have some other stuff, but we'll get to that later. So I want to talk about Kevin Eastman. I will say this about Kevin Eastman. He was the only person with a massive line that was signing for free at the convention. Only person signing for free, which to me just says a lot about his character. And he was a very nice guy. I did have to wait for about an hour and a half in line to get my comic signed. I had mine, and I had another fellow YouTuber that I'm in close contact with that I took his comic book as well and get signature. And I'll, if he wants to show his off, that's fine. I just popped it in the mail to him a couple days ago, so hopefully he'll get that soon. So if he wants to talk about that in his video, that's fine. But I will say this: as soon as we walked up to him, immediately my girlfriend just asked him, "So, what do you think of the new movie?" And he immediately he was about to sign my comic, and he put his pen down, and he kind of kicked back, and he said, "Well, there are parts of the movie that I really liked, but there are other parts that they really fucked up." And that is a direct quote from Kevin Eastman. He said, and then I went on to ask him, I said, well, with Michael Bay's name being attached to the film, how did you feel? And he said, it just kind of comes with the business, unfortunately. He did not have a lot of control over that. He said that overall, the things that were wrong with the film were things that the studio insisted were in the film, or people, or how things were done. So he said he didn't have a lot of control over some of the things, and neither did Michael Bay or the direct, anybody else involved in the film. Unfortunately, there were things that the studio just demanded that they have in the film, or people, or whatever. He didn't go into super detail, but he just said, unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of control over everything in the film. But kind of the general sense we got over is that he really wasn't happy with the film overall. He seemed kind of but he was super nice. He was very friendly. And if he is at any con that you're coming to, I will just say that he does sign for free, of course, and his lines are very long. So if that is something that you want to get done, try and jump in line as quickly as you possibly can. And then the other thing I will say is he makes available at his booth several of the reprints of the originals, but in a standard comic book size that you can buy up there and get signed, as well as some art prints and some other things. But yeah, that's what Kevin Eastman had to say about the new film. I thought that was very funny as well, that he kind of was like, well, there was a lot of it that really fucked up. So I thought that was kind of funny. And he is a very nice guy, and so I would highly suggest, if you have the chance to meet Eastman, definitely do it. The other person that we met that I was really impressed with was Charisma Carpenter. She played Cordelia on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and she was also on Angel. She was extremely nice. When we walked up, we had a comic book to have her sign, and she actually took the time to look through the comic, and she had never seen the comic before, and she even grew up my beard and was really fascinated with my beard, and she was super friendly and very interested in why we were there, and why we chose her, and she just was really really awesome. We asked her if she got to keep any of the props from the show, and she said she did get to keep her the burnt diploma from when they graduated. Sunnyvale. Is it Sunnyvale? Am I getting that right? No, that's Trailer Park Boys. Whoa. I can't remember the name of the high school in Buffy. Anyway. But yeah, Charisma Carpenter was super nice. And she was just a really engaging person. So if you are a big fan of Buffy, and she is at one of the cons, definitely get it. We've met from Buffy, we've gotten... I'm bad with names sometimes. The guy that played Xander, we got him. We got a comic book signed by him, Charisma Carpenter, and Elijah Dishku also signed. So we're looking. We had the chance to meet James Marshall, so we passed it up, unfortunately. He played Spike, but he does a lot of the Wizard World cons. So as soon as he is at the next one. We're trying to get all of them. Obviously, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Alyssa Hannigan are probably going to be the two of the toughest ones to try and get. Oh, and Giles, of course. But a lot of the other characters, even Julie Benz, who had, I think she was on like 5 or 6 episodes, was there as well. We would have liked to, but we just ran out of money and time, unfortunately. Like I said, at ECC, the parking, I mean, took up I think $80 of our nest egg of money we took up there. So, and food was very expensive. So there are things we had to unfortunately skip up there because we were just flat broke, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, she was very cool, and so we're trying to. If you're a fan of the Buffy stuff, the guy that played Xander, we did meet him. He is very nice as well. Aisha Dushku is extremely nice as well. She's a tiny thing too, just a tiny little thing. Yeah, and also my girlfriend met Jewel State. She is also from, or not also, but she is from Firefly. I'm not a huge fan of Firefly. She said that I wasn't there for the Jewel State, but she said Jewel State was very nice as well. So if you were a big fan of Firefly, she got somebody else from Firefly, but I can't remember who it is. I'm not a huge fan of Firefly. John Barrowman, who is also was also there. He plays in Doctor Who. He's Captain Jack in Doctor Who. We actually found that we actually are starting to like Doctor Who. So we had some friends that got us into Doctor Who, and we're starting to watch it. And John Barrowman was there, and it was so funny when he came out. The crowd really blew up, and he jumped up on his signing table and pulled down his pants and mooned the whole crowd, which was really funny as well. So yeah, we had a good time with all the signings. I mean, some celebrities, and it was a good time. But yeah, so let's get to the Funko panel. As many of you know, I have a short video that my girlfriend took with her iPhone of me asking Funko about Walgreens and why they chose Walgreens. Well, if you haven't watched the video or you can't hear it, the volume isn't very good on it, but if you don't know, I walked up there and I asked them, I said, why did you choose Walgreens? Why did you choose my grandmother's store to sell your exclusive pops? And their answer actually was kind of surprising, was, well, Walgreens chose us. So Walgreens pursued a relationship with Funko to sell exclusives. It was not Funko pursuing Walgreens, which I thought was funny. And I think one of the points I think that they hit on several times over the panel was, look, we're a company to make money. We're in this to make money. We're not in this to discriminate between stores or people buying this or that or anything. This really is just a company that's trying to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. And they've become a very successful company, and they put out really great products. I think I've already touched on this. The biggest complaint was, at ECC there was no booth for them. They did not have an exclusive pop. Where their presence at San Diego Comic-Con was huge, and they had several exclusive pops. So that very much left a bitter taste in, I think, a lot of people's mouths at the con, and that was a big point of discussion at the panel. And basically, Funko just said, look, we're sorry. I mean, they didn't make any excuses. They just said, look, we screwed up. We should have been on the ball. We should have had a booth. We should have had exclusives. And they just simply said, we're sorry. We dropped the ball. And, it's fine, because in the end, my girlfriend ended up winning. I think I've already talked about this, but they were running a contest while we were there, and she bought a Rocketeer pop, which is right here, the Rocketeer pop, and all she had to do was take a picture of it with her badge from ECC and post it. Well, out of all the thousands of people that did it, they picked her, and she won the first month of Marvel Collector's Corps. So we have 2 of those coming. But they made it up by giving a lot of stuff. They were at the panel. They gave away, I think, like 5 subscription boxes as well. So they had like a little drawing. But some other cool stuff. I did ask them about the Firefly pops for my girlfriend, and they did say that they were going to complete the lineup with that. some other. I mean, there was their basic questions were asked, you know, about a lot of the different lines. The one thing they did announce was, and I think this was already on the internet recently, but I don't know that a lot of people know. They are doing the A-Team, and they are doing the A-Team van. So that's pretty cool. Because they don't do a ton of vehicles, but I think the ones they do, they choose really well. Like they have the Back to the Future DeLorean and all that. So I think the A-Team van is a good choice, and they'll be, of course, doing the whole line of the A-Team figures as well. They asked a lot of the questions were about, you know, are you going to do more of this or that? And I think the big thing about it is that, you know, Funko just says, you know, that we can't do everything. We can't please everybody. I think there was a joke. He's like, you know, there's always going to be that one guy who's going to complain that they did. And this is a direct quote from them. One of the managers, I think Mark or Brian, he basically said, look, you know, there's going to be people who watch Lethal Weapon 4, and it's that guy that's drinking a Slurpee in the background that somebody wants a pop of because they're obsessed with it. And they basically said, you know, we can't make a pop of everything. It's hard to do. It's hard to get the licensing for everything. But they did say, you know, they're going to try and do what the people want. If they can get the license, they're going to do it. I did, after the show was over, I basically went up, me and my girlfriend went up and talked to a couple of the artists, you know, and one of the things that I had really wanted to see was more horror pops. And I did specifically talk to the one artist who that was kind of his passion as well. And he definitely is pushing for a lot more horror related pop vinyls. I think that's kind of an area that's lacking for them. And definitely I think people wanted to see more reaction stuff too. That kind of was the general consensus at the panel, was people kept asking, you know, are we going to see more of an expansion in the reaction line? And they were like, yes, I don't think, the kind of what I got from the Funko panel was that they did not expect the reaction line to be as big as it was. And so there hasn't been a big production of those, or in large quantities or as readily available as the Funko Pops. So it sounds like they're going to beef up a lot of the reaction line and produce more and make it more available. Because I went all over the con looking for the Big Trouble in Little China ones, and I think I was only able to find Gracie Law in one of the Storms, which I didn't pick up for some reason. I should have. But those kind of seem to be few and far between. Every booth you went to, hardly anyone had the reaction figures, or they were pretty like ones like they had Sam from Trick or Treat or Freddy Krueger or Jason, which I already have a lot of all the horror line ones. Because like I was looking for the Chest Buster Alien one, from the first Alien movie. I wasn't able to find that one. And then the Big Trouble in Little China ones. So they definitely are going to amp up the production of reaction, and they're definitely going to put out a bigger line of reaction stuff. So that was very cool. And like I said, overall, I think that the Funko was answered all their questions as best they could. And they were really nice people as well to talk to. I did ask them, and I think they're not even aware. I was like, because me and my girlfriend, we're really big Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so she wanted to go up and ask them questions about Buffy, the Buffy line. And my girlfriend said, well, why didn't Spike get an exclusive vampire version, or not Spike, but Angel? Didn't get like a special like vampire Angel, or there was no exclusive for Angel. And one of the artists was like, really? Like, I think they're not even aware of that some of these haven't been done, or that people even wanted them. So that was kind of cool to see that they're like, oh, well, we didn't even realize there wasn't one out there, you know. And so I think that's good that they're listening more to the public than say some things like Loot Crate. So yeah, guys, that's it. That was the Funko panel. Stuff. Nothing. I didn't learn anything great. Overall, I think they answered all the questions really well. and then I had a good time talking to those guys afterwards. If you have a very specific Funko question, maybe leave it in the comments. I'll try to remember. The panel was kind of long. I think it was about an hour and a half. And unfortunately, guys, I couldn't remember everything. But if you do have a specific question, leave it down below. Or if you have any more specific questions about ECC, Loot Crate, or anything I showed off in this video, or Kevin Eastman, I'll try to remember what I can, guys. You know, because that was last weekend, and, you know, I forget things, I'm old. So that's it, guys. Hopefully I will have I'd like to get up another video where I finish up just kind of showing off everything else that I got at ECC. But maybe that'll wait for this weekend. Maybe Sunday night or something like that. And then hopefully, you know, Marvel Collector's Corps will be here soon, and I'm getting one up box for the first time in April. I'm also getting, your geeky neighbor sent me a link to the video cassette, Rotten Rentals, and I'm going to order some stuff from Rotten Rentals as well, and so I'll be doing that unboxing as well when I get that stuff. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.